Hey, what's up guys, White Death DayZ here, bringing you a next day survival video. Today we're going to be going over the patch notes for the mid-October of 2017 update. I'm only going to be reading out things that I think are important and that will drastically affect gameplay. Some of the smaller things I'm going to leave out, but if you would like to read these notes for yourself, I've included a link in the description to their Facebook page where you can find everything that's going to be in the patch. So there are only two bug fixes on the list that I think are worthy enough to be mentioned. The first one is fix the item dupe with backpacks and containers. So apparently there's an item dupe. I don't know, I've never done it myself before. I've never seen any videos, nor have I bothered to look it up. I'm just not that type of player, so I didn't even know it was in the game, but I'm glad that they fixed it if there was one. The second one is fix some cases where NPCs approached a parked car and a collision was triggered. This is so good that they're fixing this, because I can't tell you how many times drove my car up to the base and an NPC has walked into it while I was in the driver's seat and I became a traitor for no reason. It's the stupidest thing ever, and I'm so glad that they're fixing this. Now, under the innovations and changes section, I have a bunch of things highlighting because there's just so much worth noting in this section. They're going to update the shooting system to where you won't see the prohibition sign in narrow spaces and aiming at point blank range anymore. This means that if you were up against a wall and you tried to aim in, your crosshair would turn into a circle with a dash through it, meaning that you can't shoot, and it physically wouldn't let you shoot if you tried to click. Now that's not the case anymore. Now you can actually shoot into the wall, and then you can pretty much pre-fire now with this new system. The second thing under the innovation and changes is it is now necessary to cause real damage to other players, NPCs, or animals for ranking up your skills of said weapon branch. So no more can you just sit in base and smack the wall with an axe to level up your melee skill. You can't shoot your shotgun in the air 100 times to level up your shotgun skill anymore. And you can't just fire AKM rounds into the air in order to upgrade the Stormtrooper skill tree. You're going to now have to actually do damage to something. So my recommendation is you get out there right now and you start pumping out those skills before that update comes in place. It's going to benefit you a lot if you already have those skills maxed and other players still have to work on them, because it's going to be harder for them to work on them than it is currently in the game. The next one that I think is really good that they're adding this is you can actually see your shooting mode next to your number of cartridges. So at the bottom of your screen when you press E and check how many rounds are in your magazine, it's also going to show you what fire rate you have it on. I can't tell you how many times I had got an AK and tried to spray someone down, but I had accidentally pressed control and it was in single fire and I lose the fight because of it. It's the worst thing ever, and I'm glad that you can check it now, because currently in the game you can't tell whether you're on single or full auto. The only way to find out is by actually shooting, and no one wants to waste ammo. Another one that they added is now after you die, there will be a marker on the map to where you died. So if you can't remember what quadrant you were in, you died by a random player in the woods and you want to get a AK and run back as fast as you can, but you can't remember which part of the forest you were in. Now you actually can tell, because there's going to be a marker on the map whenever you die. So if you have friends, they'll be able to see the marker too. They'll be able to go to your death point and try and get the guy that killed you. The next thing worth noting is that they've added chat channels now. There's a proximity chat of 50 meters, a general chat, which I'm guessing is the whole server, but you can probably only type in it. That's my guess. Group, so like your parties, you can talk within your parties and not have people around you hear you if you're in a battle and there's enemies right on the other side of the wall and you want to tell your teammates but you don't want the enemies to know. Now you can do that with the changing your group channel to your party. And fraction chat. I'm guessing fraction is going to be the same thing as general. No voice, but you can probably type to other members of your faction, whether that be looter or civilian, and you can communicate among them. I don't know if traders are going to be having them. That's going to be interesting to find out, because technically traders aren't really supposed to team, but if I guess if they add that, then there will be more traders teaming up with each other, which makes no sense because if you're going to go trader, you're killing everybody you see, you know. The statistics window has now been added to the pause menu, so if you want to check how many kills you have, how many deaths you have, what your reputation is, you can now just press pause and it'll be right there for you. You don't have to exit to the main menu, wait the 15-second logout timer, and then come back into the game to be like, oh yeah, my rep is 120. You know, it takes too long. I'm glad that they're adding this to the in-game escape menu. So now whenever you lock a car so people can't get in, they also can't access the trunk either. This is good if you're planning on switching factions and you would like to transfer all of your loot from, say, the looter camp to the neutral in an APC, and you don't want people stealing your stuff while you're running it back and forth. You can just have your friend sit in the driver's seat and unlock the door when you come up and get the stuff, and then he locks it again and no one can access that trunk. That's so good. That's going to be amazing for people that want to change factions. They added a new model of car. It's going to be called the PAZ 672, and it looks almost like an old Volkswagen bus. I'm going to put a picture of it up on the screen right now so you guys can see for yourself, but this is going to be added to, I'm assuming it's going to be in both maps. I'm not entirely sure. They did not specify it here, but the second map has all the cars and so does the first one, so I'm guessing that there's going to be one of these per map. One thing is they increased the time of NPC respawn. Now it doesn't say how much they increased the respawn time by. I believe the current system is 15 minutes, don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, but you know, I don't know if I like this one or not, because even though it is good if you're like attacking the looter base, you wipe out all the NPCs, it gives you some extra time to loot up, you know, but it also gives looters, or whoever you're attacking for that matter, it also puts them at an even bigger disadvantage because now they have to wait longer for their guys to respawn before they can try fighting back again. You know, you might as well leave the server if it's going to take any longer than, I'd say, like 20-25 minutes. They added the ability to change place to place without leaving the car. I think that's awesome, so that way, you know, if you're driving along the road and you're like, oh, I gotta go take a piss, someone hop in the driver's seat, you hop in the back, they hop in the front, you're good to go. Go relieve yourself, you know. And these last two that I'm going to mention for the innovations and changes are going to be extremely helpful during a raid. So the banker does not get scared anymore when your base is under attack. So if you get killed at the looter camp and there's a civ and an APC driving everyone over like I am right now, you can access your bank and you can get out those grenades. And the second thing that I want to mention on here, this kind of relates to it, is grenades now do 2 times damage to cars. So, like I said, you know, if you're driving around an APC and someone throws a grenade at you, they can not only access it from the bank, but it's also going to do an extra 2 times damage. So you're pretty much fucked. I don't know how the meta is going to change. I don't know if APCs are going to be worth using anymore, but it's going to be interesting to find out, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, that's going to do it. That's all the notes that I wanted to explain that I thought were important. Like I said, if you want to view the full list of changes, there's going to be a link down into the description. It's a Facebook post on their Facebook page. I suggest you go follow them, like them, you know, if you want to keep up with the news. Or you can just subscribe, like the video, and I will be doing these for every patch that comes out for Next Day Survival. I really enjoy this game. There's going to be way more content to come. I have so much footage. Expect a couple PvP videos coming out either today or tomorrow, depending on when I can get time. You know, it's hard to balance school and stuff. But yeah, so just subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.